Port Harcourt was a city of grit and ambition, a place where dreams were forged in the clatter of oil rigs and the shadows of business towers. Daniel Roberts thrived in this bustling city. As a successful engineer, he carried himself with an air of quiet arrogance, a pride so deeply ingrained it defined his very essence. Tall and broad-shouldered, Daniel exuded confidence, his sharp gaze often seeming to pierce through those around him. From a young age, his father had instilled in him an unshakable belief. Pride was a man's greatest armor. "Men who kneel lose respect," his father would say, his voice a gruff command. "A real man never shows weakness." Those words became Daniel's mantra, shaping his path. He excelled academically, graduated at the top of his class, and quickly climbed the ranks in his career. But pride, while a shield, had also built walls around him. He dismissed friends who challenged his views and ended relationships when partners sought emotional vulnerability. His pride left no room for compromise. The city whispered about him. Daniel was brilliant, but lonely, his arrogance a barrier, even as his success soared. Anna met Daniel at a mutual friend's wedding. He stood out with his commanding presence and effortless charm that drew her in. To her, he seemed the embodiment of success and strength. His confidence was intoxicating, and she was captivated. At first, Anna admired his self-assured nature. Daniel's pride seemed endearing, a sign of his accomplishments. She overlooked his dismissive attitude toward others, believing it stemmed from his focus and determination. Over time, she saw glimpses of warmth, a man who, in rare moments, held her hand tightly or shared vulnerable thoughts. She clung to the hope that beneath the layers of arrogance lay a heart capable of true love. For 3 years, Anna patiently waited for Daniel to soften, but his pride remained a fortress. He dismissed her concerns, made important decisions without her input, and never admitted fault. Every disagreement ended with him deflecting or insisting she didn't understand his need for respect. Slowly, the cracks in their relationship widened. After one particularly frustrating argument, Anna sent him a text. "When will you be ready to humble yourself, Daniel?" He scoffed at the message, brushing it off as another emotional plea. Yet her words lingered, stirring an uncomfortable truth he wasn't ready to confront. Determined to solidify their relationship on his terms, Daniel planned a grand proposal. He chose one of the city's most luxurious restaurants, a serene venue overlooking the Bonny River. The ambiance was perfect. Candlelit tables, soft jazz playing in the background, and the river's gentle ripples reflecting the moonlight. Daniel envisioned a proposal that would leave Anna speechless. But when the moment came, he couldn't bring himself to kneel. Instead, he slid the ring box across the table, his expression stoic. "Anna," he said, his tone steady, "I want us to spend our lives together. Here's the ring." Anna's heart sank. She had dreamed of this moment, but never imagined it would feel so hollow. She waited for him to kneel, to show a shred of vulnerability. When he didn't, she whispered, "Daniel, aren't you going to propose properly?" He frowned, his jaw tightening. "Anna, I'm offering you my life. Isn't that enough? I don't kneel for anyone." Her eyes filled with tears. "Sometimes love requires humility," she said softly. "A proposal is about showing your heart, being vulnerable." Daniel's pride flared. "I've never kneeled, and I won't start now." She pushed the ring box back toward him. "Then I can't accept this proposal. If you can't humble yourself now, how will you ever respect me as your wife?" She stood and walked away, leaving Daniel stunned. His pride prevented him from stopping her, even as he watched her disappear into the night.
In the days that followed, Daniel threw himself into work, hoping to drown his thoughts in deadlines and projects. Yet Anna's absence lingered like a shadow, and the emptiness grew unbearable. His once proud apartment felt cold and lifeless. Even his colleagues noticed his distracted demeanor. One day, while working on a critical project, a junior team member suggested an improvement. Daniel dismissed the idea outright, confident in his approach. But as the project progressed, it became clear the junior's suggestion would have saved significant time and resources. The project failed, and Daniel faced a stern reprimand from his boss, Mr. Collins. "Daniel," Mr. Collins said, his tone serious, "you're a talented engineer, but your pride is holding you back. You've lost valuable opportunities because you refuse to listen. If you don't change, you'll end up alone and irrelevant." The words hit harder than Daniel expected. For the first time, he saw his pride as a flaw rather than a strength. Feeling lost, Daniel sought comfort in his mother's wisdom. She welcomed him into her cozy home, her eyes filled with concern. Over a cup of tea, she listened as he recounted his failures, his voice tinged with regret. "Mom, I've always believed pride made me strong, but now it feels like a burden. I lost Anna because I couldn't humble myself." His mother placed a gentle hand on his. "Daniel, I raised you to be strong, but strength isn't about never bending. True strength is knowing to let go of pride. Love requires vulnerability. A man who refuses to kneel for love risks losing the very people who matter most." Her words pierced through the fog of his arrogance. For the first time, Daniel felt the weight of his actions and the loneliness they had brought him. "I don't know how to fix this, Mom," he admitted. She smiled softly. "It's never too late, my son. If you love Anna, show it. Actions speak louder than words." Determined to make amends, Daniel reached out to Anna. His message was simple but heartfelt. "I know I've hurt you. Please meet me. I want to make things right." To his relief, she agreed. They met at a quiet cafe, a place filled with memories of happier times. As he approached, Daniel felt an unfamiliar nervousness. Anna sat by the window, her face calm but distant. Daniel took a deep breath, sitting across from her. "Anna," he began, his voice unsteady, "I've made mistakes. I let my pride come between us, and I was wrong." She listened silently, her expression unreadable. Encouraged, he continued, "I thought kneeling was a sign of weakness, but I see now that it's a chance to show you how much you mean to me." Anna's eyes softened, but she remained cautious. "Words are easy, Daniel. I need to see that you've changed." Daniel nodded, understanding the weight of her words. Slowly, he stood and lowered himself to one knee. For the first time, he let go of his pride, his vulnerability on full display. Reaching into his pocket, he pulled out the ring. "Anna," he said, his voice trembling, "I love you. I want to be the man you deserve. Will you give me another chance?" Tears welled in her eyes as she saw the sincerity in his. She reached out, her hand trembling. "Daniel, this is the man I've been waiting for." As he slipped the ring onto her finger, relief and joy washed over them both. Daniel's transformation didn't end with the proposal. At work, he became more collaborative, valuing the input of his colleagues. He sought out the junior team member whose idea he had dismissed, offering a heartfelt apology. Slowly, he rebuilt trust, earning the respect he had once taken for granted. At home, Daniel and Anna worked together to strengthen their relationship. He learned to listen, to compromise, and to put their love above his pride. Anna, in turn, fell in love with this new version of him, a man who wasn't afraid to grow. One evening, as they sat together, Daniel took her hand. "Thank you for believing in me," he said softly. "You've shown me that true strength lies in humility." Anna smiled, her heart full. "And you've shown me that love can overcome even the tallest walls." Daniel had finally learned the lesson his father never taught him. True strength isn't about standing tall. It's about knowing when to kneel.